As the years pass by, we see the good, the bad, and the ugly. A man by the name of Muammar al-Gaddafi is two of three. He is bad and he is ugly. He has ruled Libya for over 40 years and has made the Libyan people suffer endlessly. I ask why? Why make them fear you? Why make them hate you? Shouldn't you make them look up to you, admire you, and love you? But Gaddafi hasn't done that. Instead, he has supported and financed numerous terrorist attacks against innocent people. Today, I will inform you of some of the crimes he has done throughout the years of Libya's de facto leader. In 1972, he supported the kidnapping and murder of the Olympic Israeli team led by the Black September terrorist group. In 1979, he formed death squads, whose sole purpose was to destroy and assassinate anyone who opposes his power. Why would he form death squads? Well, because Gaddafi fears when people stand up to him. He knows that all it takes is a single person to turn everyone against him. So that's why. In 1986, La Belle bombing, a popular discotheque amongst U.S. soldiers who were stationed in Berlin at the time. This was Gaddafi's revenge on America. The bombing injured over 230 people, killed one Turkish woman, and 2 U.S. sergeants. In 1988, Lockerbie bombing. Pan Am Flight 103 exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland. Killed a total of 270 innocent people, crew members, passengers, and civilians who died from the fallen debris of the plane. Among those 270 people that died were 35 Syracuse University students. So the United States was not going to let their deaths be in vain. They made sure that the person responsible for this act was brought to justice. And in 2001, Abdel Basset al-Megrahi was sentenced to life in prison. After only serving 8.5 years, he was released on August 20th, 2009 due to health reasons. The Scottish said that he only had a few months left to live and they were going to let him be free. Why would you let a murderer, a terrorist, be free? I don't know, and it doesn't make sense to me, and it didn't make sense to a lot of people who started asking questions and digging through, and finally they got answers. They found out that Gaddafi was involved. Gaddafi was involved in the release of al-Megrahi. He had made a deal with the Scottish. What the deal was, let's fast forward to 1999, where Gaddafi had accused a Palestinian-born doctor and 5 Bulgarian nurses of infecting over 400 kids with HIV. Why would a doctor and nurse infect kids with HIV? I don't know, and it makes no sense, but Gaddafi said they were guilty of it. The doctor, Afshad Hamed, confessed after spending several months in solitary confinement where he was tortured, electrocuted, and forced to watch the nurses be raped. While in captivity, the doctor said he heard Gaddafi say numerous times that until Scotland released al-Megrahi, they were going to be free. And when al-Megrahi arrived in Libya, he was received like a hero. There was a crowd of people everywhere, cheering him on, clapping and hugging him and kissing him as if he had done something great. And as we can see, he didn't do anything great. He's a murderer. A year later, 1989, UTA Flight 772, exploded over the Sahara Desert. And as you can see by the pictures, the plane was completely destroyed. There was no way anybody could survive. All 156 passengers and 14 crew members died. 1996, Abu Salim prison massacre. The prisoners rioted because the jail was overcrowded and in horrible conditions. They demanded clean clothes, better medical care, family visits, and the rights to have their cases heard before a court. Later on, the prisoners were put into a bus and taken. The prisoners were taken put into a bus. They thought that they were going to the hospital to get treated, but instead they were sent to the back of the prison where they were going to be executed. The guards shot them with pistols, AK-47s, and they probably threw grenades at them as well. As you can see in the pictures, the bodies are decapitated and they're just lying on top of each other. So 1,200 prisoners that died were killed that day. The families were never informed of this crime. They just kept quiet. As years passed by, they were wondering what happened, and nobody wanted to say anything. Only until April of 2004 did Gaddafi publicly acknowledge this crime. He admitted that people were killed in the prison. So they put pictures of their loved ones, wondering if one of them were a victim of the prison massacre. And chances are they might have been. And in 2008, Gaddafi paid $1.5 billion into a fund that was used to compensate for the people he murdered. The victims of the 1986 Berlin bombing, 1988 Lockerbie bombing, and 1989 UTA Flight 772. In conclusion, I ask, when will it all end? When will Gaddafi finally give the Libyan people their freedom back? When will they have to stop rioting in the streets to get some justice, to have their voices heard? There's a quote that says, at the top of the picture, it says, "Those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it." We shouldn't forget Gaddafi's past. Though he's trying to become a humanitarian, he's still the same man that armed and financed terrorist attacks and wars against millions of people across the world. No one should get away with murder. We shouldn't let him get away with murder. We should bring him to justice. Gaddafi kills time and time again without any repercussions. He just says, "I'm sorry, how much money you want?" Because he lives in a country with plenty of oil, and that means plenty of money. So he just tells the families, name your price and you got it. And that's it. But we live in a country where we do not forgive nor forget. And if you do a crime, you will pay with time. So we shouldn't forget nor forgive his terrorist attacks and wars against millions of peaceful people from Libya to Chad to Sierra Leone. I wonder, when will Gaddafi's reign of terror end? I don't know. But I do know that nobody is immortal, and Gaddafi will one day come to an end. When that day comes, the living people will rise and be free once again. Thank you.